Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss the LAX Centurion Lounge. I'm going to show you how you can access it, and I'm also going to give a full review of the lounge. So the LAX Centurion Lounge is pretty much brand new. It technically opened up 2 years ago, but about a month into its opening, the pandemic hit. And then as lounges began to open up, the LAX Centurion Lounge stayed closed due to fumes getting into the lounge. But recently the lounge just opened back up to the public, and if you are someone who happens to have the American Express Platinum card, you can get yourself and 2 guests into the lounge. Now next year it is going to change, and it's only going to be open for 1 person with the American Express Platinum card. And if you want to get guests in, it's going to cost $50. But until that time comes, it is you and 2 guests with the American Express Platinum card. So now that I've told you what it takes to get into the Centurion Lounge, let me show you how to access it at the LAX airport.
Now, if you happen to wonder where the Centurion Lounge is located at LAX, it's going to be at Tom Bradley International. This is where all the international gates are. Now, even if you happen to not be flying international, you still can access the Centurion Lounge. All you have to do is have a boarding pass for that day, and they will allow you to go through security from this section of the airport. Now, if you happen to be flying at Terminal 1 through 3, which are going to be at the top over here, I've been told that you actually can't access them without leaving the airport and have to go through security all over again. Now, if you happen to be flying at a Terminal 4 through 8, you can actually just walk over to the other gates. Now, depending on which airline you're flying out of, it can make a difference for the amount of time it ends up taking to get to the gates, but you won't have to leave the airport and go through security if you happen to be flying 4 through 8. Now, as you walk through security, I went through the TSA pre-check clear, but they all lead to the same spot. Now, as you enter in, it is actually just directly to your left, so it's very easy to get to. I'm actually very happy about that because I've been to other Centurion lounges that it can take a hike to get over to, but for this one, all you have to do is just go through the security for the international section, and then as soon as you get through that, you end up seeing the elevator directly over there that leads to the Centurion Lounge. Now, as you exit the elevator, you'll see the classic look of the Centurion Lounge with the American Express emblem on the right, along with the bushes on the left. Now, to access the Centurion Lounge, you need to have your American Express Platinum card, along with the boarding pass, 3 hours before your time of flight. Now, I'm going to first take a left to show you the different seating areas in the space in the Centurion Lounge. And as you can see, the LAX Centurion Lounge is actually a decent amount of space. I was actually surprised at how many spots there were to sit in the Centurion Lounge. Now, this was early in the morning, so that's the reason why that bar to the left is closed, because it was about 6 a.m. You see so many seats available, but it still felt like there was a lot of space to sit and a lot of space to actually just navigate through the Centurion Lounge compared to some of the other ones I've been to. But as you see here, there's going to be a lot of couches and also single pods for you to sit down, and spaces over here if you need to do some business with some of your team. Now, maybe it could just seem like it's more because it was so early in the morning, but there was a lot of chairs and a lot of spots to be able to sit. Now, I'm going to show you down here this hallway where on the left there's going to be like a little area for if you happen to have families and you want your own little section, you can go into there. And then straight ahead, you'll end up seeing an area that people are really quiet in. Now, I think that this is just kind of like a room for if you want to work and you don't want a lot of noise, then you can go in here and not have to worry about people being loud in here. So that's exactly what I think this section is for. But it actually seemed very relaxing and nice in there, and everyone was very quiet. And then to your right, as you walk down, or to the left after you exit, you're going to see this sleeping area. Now, this area is awesome. I'm probably not going to get that much use out of it since LAX is my main airport, but if you happen to have a layover at LAX and you wanted a spot to just relax in and take a nap before your next flight, I mean, they have the stars above. It's so peaceful in there. It's so quiet. Areas to lie down. I mean, this is an awesome little room that American Express decided to put into the Centurion Lounge. I would definitely recommend checking that out. Now, I'm going to walk back to the front and show you what it looks like as you take a right instead of taking a left from the entrance of the Centurion Lounge. And if you take a right, what you're going to see is the buffet area. Now, it could just be because it was early in the morning and I was hungry, but I actually found this food at this Centurion Lounge to be very, very good. There was pancakes, fresh fruit, bacon, and avocado toast that was quite good. Actually, I was surprised at how good it was. Now, on both sides, they're actually going to have the same kind of food, so you don't have to think that, worry about trying to get something on one side. It's just going to be a match so that the lines can kind of go quicker. but the food is really good. And at these Centurion lounges, if you haven't been to one before, they're gonna have cups for coffee, they're gonna have all different types of breakfast drinks, so everything you need for your breakfast needs, this Centurion Lounge is going to have, also for your lunch and dinner, depending on the time you end up coming. Now, to your right over here is going to end up being the bar. I just only have a quick shot of it because there was a lot of people and I didn't want to try to walk through with my camera through here. Now, the bar that's going to be over there, you do get free drinks. Now, I do recommend still giving them a tip, but it is awesome to be able to know that when you go in there, you can get yourself mimosas or whiskeys or beers, and it's all going to be comped just for having the American Express Platinum card. Now, over here on the left, I barely ever hear people talk about, but it's going to end up being a bathroom. Now, the first Centurion Lounge I ever went to was going to be the Seattle one. I had a layover in Seattle, and I remember I went to the public bathroom because I really needed to go, and I looked in there and it looked like a bomb went off. It was absolutely disgusting, and I was like, I can't use this. And then I was like, wait a minute, I still have access to Centurion Lounge. So I went over to Centurion Lounge, and I remember using it, and the toilets are so clean. I know a lot of people won't think of this as being an incredible benefit, but for me, having clean bathroom access is something I would pay for. So I definitely see that as a big thumbs up for a Centurion Lounge. Now, here is my plate of food. As I said earlier, I had avocado toast with fresh fruit along with pancakes and bacon and some orange juice. Now, this was actually not my first plate. I had multiple plates because this was actually really good. Now, again, it could have just been because it was early morning and I was very hungry, but I found this to be the best Centurion Lounge food that I've had so far. Now, I don't know how the lunch and dinner will end up being, but as far as the breakfast goes, I'm giving this 2 thumbs up. Now, when it comes to leaving the Centurion Lounge, as I said earlier in the video, if you happen to be going through terminals 1 through 3, it probably won't make sense to have to go through the entire security all over again. But if you happen to be going through Terminal 4, which is where American Airlines is, then it actually would make sense because it's only about a 5 to maybe 10-minute walk to get to American Airlines. So definitely could work out if you happen to go use the Centurion Lounge at Tom Bradley International and then go over to American Airlines. But if you happen to be going down to, say, United, like how I was, where it ends up being closer to about a 25 to 30-minute walk, then I don't know if it's honestly worth it. Now, I am a young single adult who is in pretty good shape, and I only happen to have a backpack on me at this time, and it took me close to 30 minutes to end up getting there. If you are someone who has a family with kids and a stroller, or you're not in the greatest of shape, or you're older, I don't know if it's going to make sense to go this entire distance just to get the Centurion Lounge. For me, since LAX is my main airport, I will try to use their Centurion Lounge. However, it only makes sense to me, I think, if I happen to be flying with American Airlines. If I happen to be flying some of the other airlines, I just think that it's too much of a hassle to travel this entire distance. Now, obviously, if you're flying on an international airline, it's going to make perfect sense because you're just going to be directly to your left and it's going to be easy to access.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do have any questions, drop them down in the comment section down below, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. And if you happen to really like this video, then please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace.